What's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with a Black Clover chapter 303 breakdown. So, a couple of days ago, I dropped my review, and we got the French translations, well, yesterday. And so now we got the official translations of Black Clover chapter 303, and the official title is called Glad Tidings, which is still, when you look up the etymology as far as for tidings, Old Norse, it is for news or events or occurrences. So but it's interesting as far as him using that particular phrasing instead of just like news. But we get as far as the dialogue between Nozel, what's been in his head all of this time. This chapter was basically really all of Nozel, why he's been so distant, all these different things come into play, and we see everything come to a head. We find out as far as that Nozel, there was a secondary effect that Magicula's curse on Aesir had on Nozel, and he couldn't speak, that Magicula had a hand in Aesir's death. If he would talk about it, not only would he die, but the people who struck with the curse, the people who heard it would be struck with the curse and die as well. So, he had to sit by helplessly for a year. You see how like that much pain that was as he's biting down on his lip and it's bleeding as he literally can't say a thing. Like, it's very symbolic, and so when we get as far as Aesir's funeral, and the same cross that she had is what he wears in front of him, so that way he's always focused on that particular goal at the end of the day, and it was very, very interesting. The translation, what's different from this is a lot of the dialogue with what was said. So in the dialogue that Aesir had told Nozel was, it isn't easy to get stronger. Don't worry though, all of you, one day you'll be even stronger than me. So live, Nozel. So, that was interesting. You see this inner thought as far as Nozel's reasoning for how he treated Noel and everything like that. And you see as far as this accumulation to where he's at right now. We get to the present day. He thanks everybody. He's like, I give my thanks right now to everyone present. Everything I've ever had or been is going into this attack. He freaking lights Magicula all the way up. And Magicula is just like a touching reunion. Is that what this is? I'm sorry, but we devils don't possess that sort of emotion, and it's interesting because Magicula is all like, my blood is fizzling, it got inside. And then you see Noel do this move that I didn't really notice till right now, but basically it was something to where it gets into the stream and then he can basically like rip her apart like that and left her exposed, and she says, but even then you can't destroy the heart of a supreme devil. And Nozel is just like, as expected, I was wrong after all. I shouldn't have shut her away to keep her out of this. We needed to grow stronger together. Noel comes out. The humans who refuse to give up have beaten you, Magicula. I just imagine that scene's gonna look so epic. Like, we need the anime back. We need it back. But yeah, so that is super dope. And Magicula, as far as the official translations, I was weary, but even so, I thought there was no way I'd lose to humans. It appears I misjudged your strength, humans. Is that why I've let myself take an interest in the power of human emotions? You see, that's deteriorating, that a soul comes out. And, you know, it's such an amazing, you know, scene. Aesir's soul comes out and hugs. And she says, officially, you two really have grown strong. And it ends with Nozel and Noel, these tears down their face, you know. And it's interesting because, you know, we was talking about Noel having that cross in front of him. But you see it's, you know, to the side as the mother fades away, you know. So a breakdown of this. So now that this is the official translations, there's still several things that I want to point out, you know, as far as certain information, because I don't think this information was just given just to be given. You know, I feel like there's going to be something in regards to this. So for one, you know, let's break down the fact of Nozel having the curse marks, the curse runes around him. You know, we see as far as this symbolic cross with Nozel, you know. We also see the fact there's several things we have to ask. Why this royal had a funeral where there was barely anybody, you know, especially people that were very, very close. You know, the Wizard King, basically the whole, like, Clover Kingdom, you know. So this begs the question, where's the husband? Where has he been? She had 4 children by him. And I feel like that's very, very symbolic. You know, as far as the 4 children, the number 4 as well. There's several questions as far as with that. For me, I feel like this is actually, even though this, one of the other definitions that I saw with the etymology of tidings, good tidings, is that it was also a piece of information. So it would be very, very interesting, you know, if this was literally just a piece. As much as they gave, it would be very interesting if this was still just a piece. Now, another breakdown that I want to look at is the fact of this scene, because this is Nozel in as far as the Spade Kingdom battle. You can tell by as far as his uniform, everything like that. Where was Nozel? And why was this panel important to show as far as him knocking out or having these 2 people? Are these 2 people just super random, or were they someone important? But as he's doing that, and Nozel's very powerful, you know, I don't think that everybody was strategically put in place. The only thing that was the thing that didn't go according to plan was Morris. And it's not that that's an insignificant thing. It's very, very important. But that still doesn't take away the fact that other than Morris speeding up the cliff off ritual, all the other plans should still be as according to plan. So what was Nozel's and Dorothy's and everyone else's whole plan? You know, there's a reason why we're seeing the plan unfold versus the full-fledged where everybody was put and where everybody was sent to. There's a reason Mariona was literally tasked with taking on this ancient demon. You know, there's a reason where Fergolion is put, and why we saw him versus Nozel and Dorothy. There's a lot to take into consideration here, so I don't think that panel was a random panel to just be there. I think that place that he was at was an important place, and I feel like he had caught the energy signature of Magicula, and then that's when he's like headed over there, you know. One of the things that I had brought up within my review was the fact that there's a possibility that Magicula isn't dead. And the thing would be, well, how is that possible? Noelle literally just destroyed her heart. Now, there's several things that we have to look at. This breakdown. This is why this is the breakdown. Noelle destroyed the heart, and it broke into 4 pieces, and then started deteriorating. And as soon as the evil runes deteriorated and everything like that, there was one singular soul that was attached to that heart, and that was Aesir's soul. Now, what if Magicula has multiple hearts, and she's able to have portions of herself? Because remember, she wasn't incomplete. She was not complete. And then on top of that, she said that the ritual, the cliff off ritual, was insurance. If her other plan did not fall through, she would still be able to come out. And people would say, well, how would that be possible if she was just destroyed? This is why I think she has multiple hearts, because we have to take into consideration that Gordon wasn't just built up and hasn't been around, for no reason. There's a reason why things are paced and going the way that they're going. I think Magicula has multiple hearts, and you would ask, how would this be? Well, what we know, what did we see? We see that Magicula partially was able to come out, and she manifested a heart. Now, was that heart Vanica's heart? No, because she was literally detached from her, and Vanica was still alive. So this was a heart that was physically manifested, and it had a soul, or an aspect of a soul. So she was able, there's a possibility that in her manifestation of her partially completed body, it came with a heart. And within that heart, it needed a soul. Because what did we see? What did we see as far as with Patri when he came back? When Lit left, as far as the soul, his soul left as far as the body that was created for him. But that body still remained, What's his face? Raditz was able to put a soul back into the body, giving it a heartbeat, making it alive. So, with all that taken into consideration, could it be that Magicula's soul per se, an aspect of it, was attached as far as to this heart that was manifested, and it housed within that particular incomplete body. So within that means that if she comes out through the cliff off, which more than likely is gonna be as far as the thing, then this will be where we see Gordon come through, because that would be such a dope character thing, because you have Nozel and Noel come through defeat as far as Majigla, but her not being defeated all the way, and then Gordon actually coming through because of his family lineage to be basically the only one that could get rid of Majigla for good. You know, there's a lot to sit up there and think about. It's not even far-fetched, you know. So anyways, this is a Black Clover chapter 303 breakdown. Make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the notification bell, drop a comment. Do you think Majigula is gone for good? You know, what do you think as far as her having multiple hearts, or like on some Horcrux stuff from Harry Potter and, you know, Lord Voldemort with the Horcruxes? Maybe something like that. Who knows? When do you think Gordon's gonna come through? Leave it in the comment section, and make sure to check out my manga, The Most Random Manga Ever. 8 issues you can read for free. 11 issues are in the first volume that you can order, digital or physical. Link in the description, all the goodies. Other than that, Mr. Composition, MC that writes fiction. Peace.
Coming back to earth with a couple gems of wisdom that might take a few decades to decode. So I better get the work on. No need for second guessing, cause it was already written, or was it? Is it all predetermined or devised by your hand? No need for second guessing when you're sticking to the plan. No need for second guessing when you're sticking to the plan.